Hey everybody, welcome in. In this video, I am going to begin to create the Vise assembly. And so I'm going to create the base first. So to do that, it says all dimensions are in inches. So I'm going to go up to new, and I'm going to go to English Standard, click on the create button. Let me get this out of the way. I don't want that. All right, we'll get that out of the way. So then what I want to do is wait for it to open. I'm going to go to my Start 2D Sketch, and I'm going to create this on the, what is this, the XY plane. I'm going to click that, and I'm just going to kind of create the front view of this base. So I'm going to go up to the line tool, and I think what I'm going to do is just kind of draw a line here straight over. So this is going to be 8 to the right. Zoom out a little bit. I'm going to go straight up. This is going to be 3 over to the left. That's 1.25. I'm going to go straight down. That's 1 to the left. This is going to be, what is that? 5.25. I'm going to go straight up here. It's going to be 2. And then over to the left. That should be 1.5. And then down it should be, what is that? It should be 4. Let's see if it lines up with where we began. Yes, and then I'm going to hit the escape key. So that's kind of the basic beginning shape of our base. So what I want to do then is I'm going to, it says I need 2 dimensions. So I'm going to constrain the middle of this bottom line to my origin. Let me first bring this dimension down. Just kind of move these around a little bit. Kind of get these lined up. Not really a big deal, but okay, let's do it like that. All right, so then what I want to do is I'm going to go up to my concentric constraints. All right, I'm sorry, it's coincident constraint. And I'm going to look for this middle green dot of this line here. Click that. I'm going to click the origin. So it kind of shoves everything over and gets us lined up. Now we are fully constrained. So I'm going to finish my sketch. Let me zoom out a little bit. I'm going to extrude this shape. And let me do this again. Extrude it. Oh, I was looking for my dialog box. It's on my other screen. I was like, wait a minute, something's not right. Okay, so I want the direction to be symmetric in both directions. The distance is gonna be, what is that? 3.5. And then press enter. All right, so from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a sketch on this side here, and I'm just going to draw some rectangles here. So rectangle, I'm going to use the 2-point option. I'm going to start on this line and drag it up and over. So this rectangle is going to be 1.5. In that direction, it's going to be 1.25 for the height. 1.25. Let me go back to my coincident constraint. Let's see if I can do that. So from here to here, and that centers it up. You could also give it a dimension from the center to just make that even, but I just did it that way. Yeah, so we're good there. I'm gonna finish this sketch. I'm gonna extrude this rectangle. I'm gonna cut it all the way through. Hit OK. And then I'm gonna start another 2D sketch on that same face, I'm going to do another rectangle like so. And let me dimension it. Let me hit the escape key. Now let's dimension this. Is going to be, oh, you know what? 1.25. I may have messed up. Let's see, 1.25. No, I didn't. Okay. That's 1.25. And then the height of this is going to be from here to the bottom is going to be 2.125. That's what that looks like. Okay. And again, let's see if I can do this with the coincident constraint. So let me zoom in. I want to get this dot and this dot to where those are lined up in the middle. Finish my sketch. I'm going to extrude cut this one all the way through like so. So while we're at it, let's start another 2D sketch on the same face here. I'm going to draw also a half circle. Actually, I'm just going to draw a whole circle. So I'm going to go circle, circle center point. I'm going to look for that green dot on top, which tells me I'm in the middle of this line. I'm going to drag it out. That's going to be, it's going to have a radius of 0.75. So I could, it actually is giving me a radius. You could right click and go to, you could go to diameter. If it's on diameter and you want a radius, you just click on it and make it go to radius. But since I'm already on the radius, I'm not sure what yours is going to say. I'm just going to leave it like that. But you could also just figure out, if it's, they're giving you the radius and you're using the diameter, just double that. But let me do this again. So start it here. So I'm already have the radius set, so I'm going to have this as 0.75 for my radius. If you draw this and it looks way different than what it shows in the book, then you know you probably, if you give it a radius, you need a diameter, or give it the diameter, you need a radius. Just, you know, one of those two. Anyway, I know I'm probably confusing you, but I'm going to finish my sketch here. I'm going to extrude this top of it. I'm going to go all the way to this, so I'm going to, instead of going all the way through, I'm going to go to this middle option here. I'm going to click this back plane so that extrudes all the way back. Make sure you're not subtracting anything. You're going to join it. So there's that. And now what I'm going to do is, I can either draw on a circle and extrude it, or I could use the hole. Let me use the hole. I'm going to go up to hole. And it's going to be simple hole. It's going to have seat for none. Termination is going to be 2. But before I do that, I want to set my my diameter of this hole is going to be 0.625, which mine already is 0.625. And I'm going to make sure that drill point is flat. So I'm going to pick this face here where I want my hole to be. And then I'm going to pick this kind of half circle edge at the top that centers it. And then I want this to go 2. And I'm going to pick, what am I going to do? Select surface. Go to this here. You could also give it a distance of, what is that distance? 1.25, but you could do it that way as well. So there we go there. Make sure we got that. Okay. All right, so a couple more things we need to do. So we need to like round this off, and then we also need to add our little like feet looking things down here. I think what I'm gonna do is add the feet things first. So what I want to do is to do that, I'm going to start a 2D sketch. I'm going to go up underneath on the bottom. I'm going to start a sketch on this bottom plane. I'm going to rotate this around to the right like that. And here I'm just going to kind of sketch in one of these feet thingamajiggies. So I am going to start off with a circle. Center point. I'm just going to draw a circle, a random circle over here, and that has a radius of 0.625. So here you see I have the diameter, so if I right click it, I want the radius, so I'm going to go to dimension type, click on radius, and now I can change this radius to 0.625. And there's that. And then what I want to do is I want to dimension the center of this to here. That's going to be 0.625. And then what I want to do, let's see, I want to add a circle. Not yet. I want to, okay, I'm going to draw a line. Just a random line from like here. I'm going to draw it way up past it. And then draw another line like over here. And then way up past it. I guess there's many ways you can do that, but that's what I'm going to do. And then what I want to do is dimension the end of this line to the end of this, that corner. And I want that to be 0.5. And then I'm going to dimension from the end of this line to the end of this line. That's going to be 2. And now what I can do is, so the center of this circle to the edge here, if that's going to be 1 and then add 0.5, so that should be 1.5. And then what I want to do is I am going to, these lines need to be tangent to that circle. So I'm going to use this tangent constraint. I'm just going to click this line, click this circle, click this line, click this circle, hit the escape key. I'm going to try to trim off this piece, trim that piece, trim that piece. Now I'm going to draw a circle from this point, and that's going to have a diameter of 0.375. 0.37. Nope, that's not right. I'm in radius. See, that's what I'm talking about. I'm giving it the radius, so I know that looks kind of big. So what I could do is double click this. I could say I want 0.375 divided by 2 to get my circle smaller like that. So let it do the math for me. Then what I want to do, I'm going to draw a line just from this end to this end, like so. All right, so then I'm going to, I still need 2 dimensions needed here, but I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to finish my sketch. So what I'm going to do is I am going to extrude this up by a distance of, what is that? 0.375. 0.375. So we went through all that trouble of creating one. So I don't want to draw 3 more of those, right? So save yourself some time. Let's use the rectangular pattern. And I'm going to select a feature. I'm going to select this feature. And for my direction, I'm going to choose this bottom line. So it's going the wrong way, right? So I want to flip this thing. So I'm going to use these arrows to flip it. And my I want 2. My distance is going to be 5. And so to get these on the other side, I'm going to use the mirror, and I'm going to select this feature, and I want my mirror plane is going to be the Y and the X. So that's why when I created this, I extruded it symmetrically in both directions, so I can use my XY plane here, mirror plane, XY, my feature, there it is, hit OK. So there, we mirrored that on the other side, nice and pretty like. So to round this little edge here off, let's see. What I want to do is I'm going to start my 2D sketch on this face here. Let me zoom in a little bit. So what I want to do is I'm going to draw a circle somewhere here and draw it out. Let me go way out. So I'm going to dimension this. So I'm in diameter now, so but I need the radius. That's going to be 1.5. But I know if I want right click, dimension type, radius, and I want this to be 1.5. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dimension the center of this from the bottom, and that's going to be 2.625. So then what I want to do is, let's see, how can I do this? I want to, let me see if I can trim this. I may need to draw the line. Yeah, there's that. There's that. I want to, let me see if I can do it this way, like it is. I'm going to finish this sketch. I'm going to extrude this piece. Yeah, I'm going to cut it all the way through. I'm going to hit OK. So there is our base. So that, yeah, that wasn't too bad. Let's see what we got here. Those go all the way through. Yeah, not too shabby. And then it says the material is gray cast iron. So I'm going to go up to where you see generic. I'm going to click this down arrow. So gray cast iron. I was looking at those. Let's see, cast iron here. It says there's gray iron, there's cast iron. So, but there's not a gray cast iron. So I'm going to put, I'm not sure. Ask your professor which they want to use. You can also go to Autodesk Material Library and you'll get a lot more. Now you see there is gray cast iron, but there's all different grades. So I'm not sure which grade the book is wanting. So like I said, ask your teacher, ask your professor which one you want to go with. But I'm just going to click on gray iron here, and I'm going to get that. So that's what I would do. Just make sure you save it, and then I'll see you in the next lesson. We'll create the jaw part to this Vise assembly. All right, peace out.